Welcome to Soulful Conversations with Nadjejda. I'm Nadjejda Chapoteau. I am an empowerment and confidence coach, spiritual teacher, and speaker. I'm passionate about dance, social justice, spiritual growth, love, nature, making a difference specifically in causes that matter to me, like empowering women and children in my homeland, Haiti, and around the world. And I'm very much passionate about empowering women around the world, whether they're entrepreneurs or not. Although I work with women entrepreneurs, but I am very much big into empowering women to truly reconnect with themselves, get to know who they are, find their voice, so that they can really be sharing their authentic self with the world. Because I'm a firm believer that we have to get to know who we are. We have to love who we are in order to make a big impact to make an impact in the world. As a coach, I help women, purpose-driven and ambitious women entrepreneurs experience ease, clarity, confidence, and fun in their businesses by discovering their message and finding their niche. So today, this is actually my last episode for 2017. I think about this. This is my 35th episode. Actually, this is me alone. Out of the 35th episodes, I've this is probably like my fourth one on my own. And I'll be doing some more, but most of them will be with my guests. So I've chosen to take a short break. So you won't be seeing, at least for those of you who are watching me on my website, you will not be seeing any more episodes until 2018. For those of you on Apple Podcasts, because I started this journey through my website on April 6th, I believe, 2017, this year. And I did not get it onto Apple Podcasts until I think it was late August. So in some way, I'm still behind catching up, putting the episodes there. So you may see a couple of episodes. You may be able to listen to a couple of episodes on Apple Podcasts. But as far as Apple, as far as being on my website, you will not be seeing anything aside from this one. So, and I thought I'd wear my red for the holidays, because actually this episode, yes, I just realized I'm recording this a few weeks sooner, but yeah, people will be seeing this the week after Thanksgiving. So, well, obviously they'll be seeing it at another time too, but that's when it will be released. It's on December 20, I think it's the 29th or the 30th, I believe. Either way. So just wanted to share that this will be the last episode for 2017, because I decided to do them and take a break in between so that I can relax. And also I want to be able to take some time. And I'd love to hear from you. If you could let me know, are there some specific topics that you would like to see, that you would like for me to bring experts and talk about, or for me to talk about whenever I step out on my own, like this time and the 3 previous times before this? I'd love for you to tell me, because I truly, I created this podcast. I decided to do this because I really wanted to offer valuable content to my audience, which are women entrepreneurs. And for me, because I am a firm believer that, as you know, I care about social justice, I care about spirituality. For me, this wasn't I didn't want to just talk about business. I didn't want to just bring people who are going to talk about, that's why I chose to talk about a range of topics like self-care, self-love, which is very much a big part of my work as well in my own life. What else do we talk about? Like, I've brought people talking about spirituality, which is I think running our business is a spiritual practice, and politics and social justice, because we are living through a particular time in the world, and in the United States, which is where I'm at, but also in the world where really we're being called to step up. I am one that I don't believe that a topic is off the table when it really has to do with people's lives, with all of us, our lives. And for me, the people that I work with, my audience, the people that I attract, people who know me, they know that I have strong political views. They know that I have strong views on social justice, and I talk about these topics. I do a Facebook Live and talk about it. I do, so but I want you to tell me, and I wanted to have meaningful conversations, so I'm going to be bringing more experts. So I really want you to tell me, is there something that you haven't seen and you want to see an expert talk about it? Tell me about what you're struggling with, and I could address it, and I could bring an expert if that's not my area of expertise, because like I said, most of these episodes are going to be me and another expert, and somebody who's an expert in another area. I may bring somebody same expertise as me, but it may be different. So just would love to hear from you. Or maybe there's a topic that I've already covered, but you would love to see more of that. So please let me know. I would love to hear from you, because again, I created this. This is not just for me to be talking or for me to be having conversations with my guests, which I enjoy, but I did it, and I know they're coming in order to truly be of value to you all, those of us who are watching us, those of us who are listening to us. So today, I wanted to talk about how you really, because, a lot of us, even for me, sometimes, especially in the beginning, but sometimes it still comes up where we deal with self-doubt, where we deal with feeling not good enough, or we feel like we lack the confidence to truly show up as the expert that we are. Especially the people I work with, and for me, I consider myself to be a leader, and I want to be seen as a leader in my industry. I know already, people reach out to me because they want me to talk about the importance of being authentic, to showing up, authentically in your business. People know me about really being authentic and really showing up as who I am and speaking my truth. So sometimes, in order to own and embrace that leadership role, and I'm just talking about leadership, but it can be with anything. In order to own and embrace your expertise, in order for people to actually trust you, you need to be able to believe it. You need to be able to believe that in yourself. And I have to say, I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about today in this last episode, but this really has been something that's been coming up for me, and I thought, you know what, let me share it, because I often say, if I'm going through something or if I'm having these thoughts, it's because, not only do I need it, but I also believe that, I need to share it as well with somebody else, because there might be somebody else who can benefit from hearing this. So, I was thinking about this, the whole leader thing. And for me, it's not that something that's new. I've always kind of known that about me, but it's just that currently I'm really in that space, because I'm in the process of really wanting to call in more women who want to be in positions, who want to be seen as leaders in their industry, to work with me. And to really be able to not just work with me, but to bring in them so I could really be able to make a difference for them, because I'm a firm believer that leaders create other leaders. I don't believe that leaders create followers. That's not real leadership. Real leadership is actually about creating leaders. So, I was actually thinking about it. And then, I was thinking about this, and then this thought came up, and it was like, okay, leader, you're a leader, or what have you led, something. And then I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute. In 2008, I mean, I wasn't pretty engaged in 2012, President Obama's campaign in 2012, but I was like in DC at the time because I lived in DC. I remember I was in Miami. I was taking care of some personal business. So while I was in Miami, I went and I volunteered I went and registered voters. So I was in the street registering voters one day. Another day, I was in one of the Obama campaign offices making calls. And then when I got back to DC, I was canvassing with one of my girlfriends. Her and we had somebody else driving us, because at the time we both didn't have a car. I had given away my car. I had taken it back to Miami. And so either way, it was like really like I hadn't even started my coaching practice, but I had already left my job. So either way, but basically I was engaged, but not that engaged. But in 2008, I mean, I was engaged, but basically I was not like part of a team, because that's the thing. Sometimes I was doing things on my own with my friend. We got something from an office, and then I would go to the office in my neighborhood and make calls. So either way, but in 2008, I was so involved that I was a team leader. So I was like, okay, I was a team leader for the Obama campaign in 2008. So I was a leader, and I started thinking about how when I was, I'm not going to lose my train of thought now. When I was, when I attended landmark education, I've gone back and forth I've done the landmark education curriculum. And just so you guys don't know, landmark education is basically, it's a personal development institution. Actually, it was my first time of hearing the word coaching, which is a little bit different from the type of coaching that I do, or most coaches, at least, because their coaching goes by the landmark, I guess, I don't know if I want to call them their principles, but either way, by their curriculum, basically. But either way, I used to be a team leader there too. So I led teams. I coached my teammates, So I started thinking about all the times in my life where I held a leadership position. And it doesn't have to be in a job or something, or, you want to think about this. And then I thought about, just recently I shared, and that's probably why this came up for me. Just recently I shared in a Facebook Live how I was very inspired by Oprah Winfrey when she opened her Leadership Academy. I think that's what it's called, but there's probably a full name in South Africa, the Girls Leadership Academy in South Africa. When she opened it, I was very much inspired by her. And it was around the time that I was doing the self-expression and leadership program at course, or I don't know what it's called, program at Landmark. And one of the things was for you as a leader to create a project, and then you also delegate somebody else to like lead it, so that, because sometimes, here's the whole thing, leaders create other leaders. We don't just do everything ourselves and everybody just has, So I actually had a project, my project, which is why I mentioned Oprah, is because I always knew I wanted to make a difference in my homeland, Haiti, but this was like the first thing that I had done where I was so inspired by her that I said, okay, this is it. And it just so happens I was in this program, and this program requires that you create a project that makes a difference. And what I did was I decided that I was going to raise money, buy school supplies, and found a school in Haiti that I was going to donate it to. And that's exactly what I did. So what I want you to get, I'm trying to think if there were any other instances. So I said team leader for Obama, team leadership. But
And I mean, I'm sure there are other instances, but basically what I want you to get is that we need to look for the evidence, because there are things that you've already done that make you the expert that you are, and you want to remember those things because they will help strengthen your belief, your confidence in yourself, and that's why I brought this up. And I brought up leadership, but it's sort of like, okay, if I were, okay, when I started taking on that being authentic, that, you want to think about what are the times in your life where you spoke in your truth, when you were authentic. And, I know for myself, speaking my uncomfortable truth, I just thought about this right now. When I came home, when I moved back here, because I was born in the States in Boston, grew up in Haiti, and I moved back, I was like 16 years old. I remember, I think it was that first year, I actually came because there was a coup in my homeland, Haiti, and my mom, my family, specifically my mom, but my dad too, like they were supporters of the president that was ousted. So we had to leave because there were some threats against mostly my mom, and we ended up leaving. We had to leave the country. And I recall I had to do a paper, and I chose to do my paper on the Haiti coup. And there were people in my class who were Haitian American, or Haitians too, because they may not have been American, like Haitian American like me, who did not support, and actually who did not support that particular president that was ousted, and who did not and who probably even supported the coup. And I recall when I did my paper, I had to do a presentation. And I had to stand up and talk about it, and talk about it in front of people that I know did not share my point of view. And so this is just to show you how I can share that's something that, that having to speak my truth, which is, which can be uncomfortable, because when you know that there are people who are not going to agree with you. So again, what I want to share with you, what I wanted you to get out of this is for you to collect evidence. Like, look for, because most of you, like, if you want to, maybe you were a leader in the Girl Scouts, maybe you were a leader in your class. Like, I was actually thinking, I don't remember if I ever signed, how there's this whole thing, president of your class, president of some committee, whatever it is. But for me, those are the ones that came to mind, was the Obama campaign and leadership with landmark education programs and seminars and everything. But I just really want you to get is that look for that evidence of that moment and don't think that just because you did it once, or you did it twice, or you did it 3 times, because you didn't do it 20 times, because you didn't do it 25 times, that you cannot own that part of you, that you cannot own it. Because the thing is that you have to own the leader that you are. You have to embrace the leader that you are. You have to own that you are the expert in your field, that you're the expert in the niche that you are in. You have to own it. You have to embrace it, because that's how you're going to have the confidence to truly show up as that. Like, I know for myself, I really, sorry, I'm going to have to drink some water with you guys here. I don't want to pause the video, but either way, what I want to, that's my thing about being authentic. So really what I want you to get is that, that's what's going to give you the confidence. Oh, this is what I was losing my train of thought. So for me, I fully embraced being authentic. I fully embraced really sharing myself. And my message is be you and share it with the world. And the thing is that with me is that it wasn't something that I have to say, and I think the reason why for me, when I started sharing, when I knew what my message was, it became really easy for me to embrace it. Is because that's what I was already projecting. I remember when I was on a call with a colleague, and when I got it, it's like basically the words came, but I had already been doing that. So in some way, that's why I have the confidence, even when I can experience some fear, I can experience some, self-doubt and everything, but I have the confidence to show up as who I am because that's what I've been doing, and I've been doing it for a while. So I've really embraced that. And that is the thing, is that the confidence is going to come from not only you owning it, but also you putting yourself out there, you sharing it, because the more you put yourself out there and you share it and you own it, the more confident you're going to be. But like I said, more than anything, if you're feeling like you're like, okay, I don't know, am I really the expert at this? Or how can I really say I'm a leader in my industry when it comes to this? Find the evidence of the other roles that you took on as leadership roles, and find the evidence, like, if you are, for example, if you are a relationship coach, okay, and I don't know, let's say you really help people. One of the things is like really the way they communicate with their partners. Okay, that doesn't mean that your relationship may be perfect, but you can actually share that, how, oh, you know what, I really can communicate with my partner, or if we have a disagreement, this is how I handle it, and this is how I contribute to us working it out. So you just have to look for that evidence, and also like take note of it, because that's what's gonna build you up. So that's what I wanted to share today. I hope you find it helpful. And again, I can't stress this enough. Go ahead and build those muscles. Write it down. If you have to put it in a sticky note somewhere where you can really see. Actually, just a few weeks ago, I shared with my email list how I have my declarations or some testimonials, not just the ones on my website, but like people telling you what they really appreciate about me. I have all of that somewhere. I have them on a screenshot in my phone. I wanted to get rid of like so many pictures on my phone and stuff. So you know what I did? I went and I emailed things to myself, and I created a folder for my appreciations and my declarations. And whenever I feel low now, I know exactly where to go to boost me up. So I'm asking you to do the same thing too. Look for those evidence and write them down or speak them. Like if you're like me, I use my phone often to like do audio. So I'm just saying, like, put them somewhere, record them, write them down, journal on it, and then go back to it. So that's what I want to share today. So again, I'm wishing you all a happy holiday, or I won't wish you a happy new year, because I will do that in my first episode next year in January. But I am wishing you, if you do celebrate, happy holidays to you all. If you celebrate Christmas like I do, Merry Christmas. I know Hanukkah is coming, so happy Hanukkah to anybody who's listening here. Happy Kwanzaa. So happy holidays to everyone, and I'm wishing you that you have a great one with your family. So again, I'm gonna say that this is the last one for the year. Let me know. First of all, I'd love to know what I just shared. Was that helpful? Leave me a comment below the video. If you're listening to me to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review or visit my video. I'd love for you to visit my website, www.lovelikecoaching.com. I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know, does it resonate with you? Was it helpful? If it is helpful, please give it a share. I'd really appreciate if you share it with somebody that you know would benefit from it. If you don't want to miss any of the episodes when we come back in January, subscribe to my email list, subscribe to my Apple Podcast, Soulful Conversations with Nadjejda on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe You can visit my website if you're not watching me on my website, or if you're only listening through Apple Podcasts. Visit my website, lovelikecoaching.com, www.lovelikecoaching.com. Under the video below, you'll see a box. Put in your name and your email address, and you will get these new episodes every Thursday. I don't think I'm changing the date, but if I am, you will be the first ones to know. It's every Thursday, so starting in January, the new episode will be available. You'll get it in your inbox. And when you subscribe to my email list, once you confirm your subscription to my email list, you will get my free gift for you, which is my 7 questions to help you reconnect with yourself and your business. This is actually these questions are questions that I've used myself to reconnect with myself and to have underlying message in my business. So I would love, you will get that. And then, of course, you'll get goodies from me every Tuesday, and maybe other times you'll hear from me if you join my email list. So, again, that is all I have for you all. I would love to hear from you. And, again, wishing you and your family a joyful, loving, peaceful, and happy Christmas. Well, holidays. Sorry, happy holidays. Take care. Love and light.